and his life. VC. VC, where are you? I'm sure there'll be people soon enough. If not, just keep talking to myself. So, how's this is going? 2 people are on. Okay. Better than 0. 3 people. Hey! We're in somewhere. Hello, Christopher. Hello. I am here as promised. Hey, Teddy. Teddy always comes. Good evening, Teddy. Can you hear me well? Oh, Serge. Bonjour. Who else is here? 3 people, 4 people. Hey, Mike. Hey, JC68. Amazing. Look at all these people. So I've tried to arrange the lighting a little bit so that you can see a bit better, because times before it wasn't so good. Yeah. So let's talk about stuff, so talk about records as I do every week. I'm just going to lower the volume of mine. So I'm right close to my system here, really next to it, so that I've got some light in my face. Okay. So what I've been playing this week. This is the name of the game, isn't it? Hello, local bandography. I know who you are, but I don't know your name. So, just drop your name somewhere. Keith, hello, Keith. Triple tasking, World Cup. Yeah, I'm watching the World Cup as well. I'm watching Belgium, just there. Yeah, Mike. I'm sort of kind of watching it, but not really. I mean, it's just started. So, Dave, hello, Dave. I'm sorry, Dave. I know exactly who you are. You always wear the hat, the cap. I've got this, just the usual fare. I've got a box of things that I've been playing this week. Probably not as much as last couple of times, but just a few things. So just before the video, I was playing this wonderful album by Vashti Bunyan, Just Another Diamond Day, which I have on CD, not on vinyl, but it's all right. Sounds great. It's got the bonus tracks. I'm sure all of you are familiar with Vashti Bunyan. She was a 70s UK folkie, and this was produced by Joe Boyd of Which Season. Also produced Nick Drake. And actually, I've actually seen her play live as part of the Nick Drake tribute show quite a few years ago, and she was quite mesmerizing. Hello, Miguel Silva. Yes, Dashiell Edayat, Obsolete. That's a great record. It's a gong record, really, isn't it? Yes. Oh, hello, Anat. Walk Around Your Mind. Yes. So, Walk Around Your Mind. What track is this? Yes, I'd like to walk around your mind. It's one of the bonus tracks. Yes, indeed. Before that, hello, everyone. I assume you've read White Bicycles. I must confess, I haven't. I am well aware of the book, but I haven't got to it. It's meant to be quite a good account of that Which Season. Hello, M. Jones. Is it Mike? Is that right? Sorry. Names sometimes escape me. Well, I'm one of these people. This is what I do. People introduce themselves to me, and I instantly forget their first name. It's just a disease. It takes me a couple of times. Before Vashti Bunyan, I was playing one of my favorite soundtracks of all time, The Virgin Suicides by Air, which I've got on CD, which I think is really top notch. And the opening track, Playground Love, could just be my favorite Air song, although the opening song of Moon Safari probably has got that title. But Playground Love is so reminiscent of this kind of like 70s Pink Floyd era. It's just really beautifully done, and I love this soundtrack. So it's playing this, and before that, I do that with girls. Hence, I'm single. Yeah, well, yes, it's a bit difficult. I get your predicament, forgetting people's names. Before that, I was playing the classic Modern Lovers debut album. Classic album. These recorded I think in 1974, I think, but then only released in 76 or something like that. What to say about this? Jonathan Richman, Ernie Brooks, Jerry Harrison. You know, the songs are just iconic. Roadrunner, Astral Plane. Pablo Picasso was never called an asshole, nor in New York. Remember that. That's why I was going to title that video. I thought they're going to block me. The expanded version has got a track called I'm Straight and it's hilarious. Oh, well, I'll need to check that out then. And before that, I was playing this kind of obscure-ish African record, Ghetto Blaster People. And this is from, I don't know, I think it's a Nigerian thing. I'm not sure, Nigerian or Ghana. I really am not sure. I bought this years ago, and you know, I don't visit it very often. But you know, it's your usual sort of high life-ish Afrobeat-esque fare. But it's a really good record. It really is engaging, and I think you could still get these cheap. I mean, it's not essential by any means. It's just kind of a cool record. You can see behind me, I've got the beautiful Mild Life. What a record! What's the score in Belgium? Have they scored? Oh, they have already 1-0. Doesn't look good for Tunisia. Okay, I'll continue. Now, I want to thank publicly Mr. Jeff Greer, who is a musician here on the vinyl community, and he sent me a package with his latest EP, Jeffrey Scott Greer. There you go. I'll give him a plug. And he sent me not only that, but he sent me the CD. He sent me the cassette. Look at this. I need to get a cassette player going. Thank you, Jeff, if you're watching this later. I know you're watching right now. So who is on at the moment? Yeah, Ghetto Blaster, good LP. Yes, John Coltrane. You would know this. Ben Costello, Le Soleil brille. Ireland, I've just beaten Australia in the rugby again, and Freddie's on YouTube. All my ducks are great. PK. What does PK mean? Sorry, I'm missing the clue there. Lanun. Hello, Lanun. Yeah, Jeff is a great dude. So he sent me this with a nice note, nice letter. So Jeff, if you're watching this, thank you. This is Unclear Vinyl, interestingly enough. So it's got a great label too. It's beautiful. So it's kind of, you know, what Jeff does is this kind of mix between psychedelia and funk, I guess you would say. You know, it's got this kind of you know, funky beat. And sorry, I can't talk. It's bizarre. You know, it's kind of this got this breakbeat kind of sound to it, and lots of funky flute, and it's quite psychedelic as well. If you know Jeff, he also has a project called Schematics for a Blank Stare. I think I have every single release that Jeff has for that. So Jeff, if you're watching this, thank you very much. And people just check out Schematics for a Blank Stare, or indeed his records. Belgium is legit. Might even go deep in this cup. Yeah, I know they are legit. Scored via penalty kick. Yeah, I couldn't see. My TV is sort of angled in a way I can't really see it. It doesn't matter. I'm more interested in what you're doing here, people. So he's a real hazard, that Eden. Yes. Boom boom. Yes. Sweden, Germany tonight. Go Sweden. Yeah. I don't know, Germany. Ooh. They might get out. They might go out of the World Cup in with nothing. Hello, Alan, Static Traveler. I'll continue with my oral odyssey. What else have I been playing? So before Jeff Greer's album, I think it was yesterday. I think I played "Automatic for the People" by R.E.M. This is an album that I know back to front because I've played it just about a million times. I discovered this album in the late 90s, probably 97, I'd say 90, yeah, 97 is about right. This came out in 1991, so a few years later, and I became obsessed with it, and I still love it to this day. And I paid £6.99 at HMV back in the day. And I just love everything about this record. This record just embodies kind of musical perfection for me. I know you might not agree, if you're a jazz head or whatever, but this is a beautiful album. It talks about death mostly. And I really love even the lesser known songs like Ignore Land and Star Me Kitten is wonderful. It's a wonderful record. R.E.M. Let me continue with things that I've pulled out of my shelves. Good old Leo Kottke. And people talk about Robbie Basho and John Fahey. They're expensive records to get. This is a super cheap record. And it gets to the same point, really. I mean, it's very drony, American, primitive guitar. I was talking about Jim O'Rourke a couple of weeks ago. And I think this is a prime example of it's on Tacoma, the label started by John Fahey. This is a wonderful, wonderful album. It's killer. Let me just catch up with the comments. Have you heard Darkness Falls, Danish indie pop duo? No, I haven't. Thank you for letting me know. Hello, Charles from Chicago. V. Elliott. Love Ojo on that one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the third song, yeah. I don't know which it is because it's sort of, to me, it's kind of like something you listen to for one song in particular, in my opinion. But obviously some people have got different experience of it. Yeah, Tacoma label, great player. That's his first record. It's amazing. It's brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Amazing, amazing album. From 1968. Not on original press, obviously, but what else have I been playing? Some Brazilian music. João Bosco. Caça a Raposa. Well, I don't speak Portuguese. I speak Italian. That's the closest to Portuguese that I speak. So I don't know. I do not know how to pronounce this. This is an iconic album and song, Caça a Raposa, from Brazil, 1970, early 70s, I'd say. Not a very expensive record, but really kind of, on point, fairly essential Brazilian release. Just a great MPB release. Miguel Silva, you did well. Casa Ajaposa. Try the album Alive in Us. Perfect album with some Ennio Morricone influences in place. Okay, cool. Cool. This is a great album. I've got another Brazilian album to show you in a minute. Also played again Fawzi Elayadi, Iraqi oud player, singer, which I was showing when we had this session with Anthony Camplone. Since I pulled it out for that session, I just kept it out in my box and played it again. Really sort of atmospheric, beautiful session with, you know, like a real sort of like a Western type band, but him playing the oud. And yes, it is me, kind of. You can sleeve face me, and I can just finish the video like this. No, yes, it's a beautiful record. Got this in France a couple of years ago for next to nothing. I think it was like 15 euros or something. It's good shit. Lately, I'm sort of obsessed with organ Bach. Don't know why. Don't ask me why. I just, especially with this Toccata and Fugue in D minor. This is a great rendition, and I love this label, this Erato label. This is wonderful. This is Marie-Claire Alain aux Grandes Orgues Schwenkel la Collégiale Saint-Denis, 1970. So it's a church organ session. Speaking of which, so this is a nice kind of segue because I'm thinking of this. Tonight, right now, as we speak, I didn't go because I'm here, obviously. You know, if I was there, I wouldn't speak to you. But tonight, Charlemagne Palestine, the Charlemagne Palestine. Oh, if you don't know who Charlemagne Palestine is, he is one of the most eccentric minimalist composers. And he released a classic kind of minimalist album. And it's so minimalist, in fact, that he seems to play one chord for about 45 minutes. And then he moves to a second chord. It's a very strange record. But he's playing tonight in a church on a giant organ. And I was considering going, but you know, I thought I'm just too tired, and you know, yeah, Charlemagne Palestine, yeah, he's great. Well, he's playing in Melbourne tonight. Strumming guitar, that's the album. That is the album. Strumming, it's called Strumming Guitar. Yeah, he's playing tonight in Melbourne. Just and I didn't go, but it's at a church. Anyway, digressing. Toccata and Fugue in D minor is my favorite organ piece. It's just like Bach invented kind of progressive rock and heavy metal and everything in one go on this. It's so like, you know, you listen to this and then you think, you know, why do people bother listening to Iron Butterfly or bands like this? It's all there. It's fantastic. Whatever. Yeah. He's really tiring to see live, I can imagine, because you have to concentrate so hard, and I'm tired. I'm really tired tonight. Anyway, I played this album twice this week. Spirit of Eden by Cocteau. I mean, what to say about Cocteau? One of my favorite bands for a long time now. And I just love every bit of Cocteau, the early period, the mid period. Cold Spring is wonderful, but this is just a masterpiece. I mean, so I played this twice because, as I said, I've got this new system I've told you about. And it's great to actually revisit these records with proper, I mean, those speakers, them speakers here. Where am I looking? There. I'm pointing at things. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm pointing at. There we go. There's JBLs. They really handle sound really pretty amazingly. just going to flip this up a little bit. My head is in there. So, Spirit of Eden, wonderful, wonderful record. Just really killer. Oh, Glowing Double Cabbage, wonderful. Oh, I couldn't get the record signed. No, that's a shame. That's a bit of a bitch. German group Beyond Borders, band features. Check them out. Okay, cool. Thank you. More weird than Lamont Young. I think on the par with Lamont Young. I think I'd rather listen to Lamont Young. I mean that 5 LP thing that is. What's the name of that album? It's really, really amazing. That solo piano that he did. What is it called? Help me, VC. I've got it. I've got it on download. I don't have the actual album. I would love the album. It's a 5 LP set. And Lamont Young plays solo piano. It's really, really good. It's amazingly good. I noticed you played Nits. Have you heard the LP Ting? No, I haven't. The Nits that I've got, since I've got my records behind me, the Nits that I've got. Oh, where are the Nits that I've got? It's a good question. Nits. Oh, there. Okay. So, this is wonderful. This is In the Dutch Mountains. It's a great indie pop record. I really love this. This is the one that I got first. And I've also got those two. Kilo and Ted's. These were sent to me by Stefan73. So that's what I've got. No, I haven't. But I shall check out if I find it. Dead Work 66. Hello, Dead Work 66. Static Traveler. Ah, yeah. And Emmanuel Cop. Bise de Paris. Ah, okay. Tu habites à Paris. Okay. I love Paris. I love Paris. My favorite city in the world. Well, not Melbourne is, but Paris comes second. Oh, and you can see Sarah behind me there. Look, my wife. She's up in there. Then what else? Okay, let me keep talking. One of my favorite albums of the 2000s, without question, is the wonderful Person Pitch by Panda Bear. And I wanted to hear it on my new system properly, and it doesn't disappoint. It's a great record. I mean, you know, Comfy, Nautica, and, you know, those songs, you know, Good Girl. Oh, it's just a great album. This is to me like a modern take on Pet Sounds or Smile. You know, it's sort of like this kind of spacious, kind of spectral sound of it's like an indie rock version of the Beach Boys. So yes, it's a great record. Yes, indeed. So Person Pitch. I played a bit of free jazz, avant-garde jazz this week. Last Sunday, I think it was, I played Don Cherry's Organic Music Society. Organic Music Society, wonderful, wonderful record. It's originally on Caprice, and this is a reissue, obviously, on what is it? Oh, it's also on Caprice. Yes, it is on Caprice. This is world music meets avant-garde jazz, kind of. It's very ethnic sounding. It's beautiful. Mike, we're going to meet in Portland. Oh, it'd be good if you could meet in Portland. Can I come too? No, I'm just kidding. No, I would, but I can't. Panda Bear. I wish that I on vinyl. Yes, it's wonderful, wonderful record. I'm sure you can find it. It's been repressed a number of times. And since I'm in avant-garde jazz and jazz, I've also played one of my favorite pieces by the great man, Space is the Place, which I've got on CD. Still wonderful album with this, you know, long ass Space is a Place title track, amazing with its vocals. I actually saw the orchestra a few years ago, and that was a wonderful highlight of this show. Space is a Place. What's the result in the game? Oh, 2-1. Already 3 goals. What am I doing? I'm talking to you. That's what I'm doing. Luckily, the TV's not right in front of me. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to concentrate. Okay. What else? Okay. Well, I pulled out this fantastic Caribbean French. I think it's from Guadeloupe or Martinique. He's from the French West Indies. I can't remember if he's from Guadeloupe or Martinique. Martinique, yeah, he's from Martinique. Martinique is a French island in the Caribbean. Marius Cultier. This is a killer sort of island funky soul jazz record. Amazing record. Very highly recommended. Yes, beautiful artwork on that Don Cherry. Yes. Yeah, I don't know if any of you here know this. Maybe JC68 would be, I think, if anyone's going to know about Marius Cultier, it would be John Coltrane 68. That is a wonderful record. It's called Welele Sky. It's great records. I mean, vibes, synth, percussion, congas. He plays acoustic and electric piano, Fender Rhodes. This is a killer record. Killer. Okay, continuing. I was watching Glowing Double O Cabbage. Are you here? Glowing Double O Cabbage? I want you to hear this because you inspired me. I was watching your video. Oh, thank you, Dead Work 66. Are you getting the new Coltrane album off? Look, I've got about 20 Coltranes. Do I need any more Coltrane? I don't know. You always need more Coltrane is the answer. So I was watching Double O Cabbage, Glowing Double O Cabbage. You here? And I pulled out some Jacques Lussier because you were playing it. And because I'm into Bach at the moment, especially Bach organ, it was good. It was tied in well with, this is the Brandenburg Concerto in D major. Fantastic. And this is playback. Oh, it's a play on word. Playback, yes. Aux Champs-Élysées. Jacques Lussier, yeah, he's a French pianist who was well known for reinterpreting classical pieces in a jazz context. You'd call it probably third stream, jazz meets classical. Although third stream, when I think of third stream, I think of Moondog rather than anything else. But this is kind of third stream, or maybe some records by John Lewis from the Modern Jazz Quartet. There's also lots of really good third stream stuff. But this is fantastic. These records are so cheap; you can buy it for $1 a piece, and it's so good. French jazz meets classical, amazing. So thank you, Glowing Devil Cabbage. And since I'm talking about Bach and organ, I couldn't resist taking good old Keithy Jarrett for a spin. Spheres, hymns and spheres, played on pipe organ. This is special. This is a special record. I mean, special record on ECM. If you don't have this, I highly recommend this. This is Roney, and I mean, who needs Charlemagne Palestine when you can listen to Keith Jarrett wig out on organ? It's brilliant. Here's a must listen for everyone. Amazing stuff. Milan, what are you talking about? Norb Studio album by Einstein Robbie. Okay, so everyone, you can read Milan's comment there, and you can try that out. Lussier, yeah, merge of genre, one of his best, yeah, heavy records. Talk about this, yeah. Uncle Restores pipe organs for a living. Great. Spheres Part 3 used during Freaking Sorcerer. Yeah, the Tangerine Dream soundtrack. Yeah, great. Yeah, well, it would work well. It's a bit like with what you call it, Mike Oldfield record, Tubular Bells. Okay, well, still quite a few records to show you and some great things too that I've been playing. So I hope I'm not boring. Over the 30 minutes, maybe we'll go for an hour or something, and then we'll see where we go with this. I pulled that Victoria Lands by the Cocteau Twins, which is a wonderful record, really. I mean, in the scheme of the Cocteau Twins, this is one of the best records. This is from, I don't know, I can't remember. Does it really matter what year it was released in? Maybe it does. This is on 480, as you know. No, there's not even a year written on the. If you've got this record, be careful. It plays at 45 RPM. In case you've been playing it at 33 RPM for the whole time. I just love Liz Fraser's spectral voice. She is really wonderful. Let me catch up with some comments. Glenn Gould plays back. Oh, I mean, Glenn Gould is a. I mean, I respect the guy so much. He's just such a genius. The Goldberg variations by Glenn Gould are something else. They're just brilliant, brilliant. I put on Jared instead of going to church on Sunday. Okay, indeed. 1986. That's the Goldberg. Thank you, Emmanuel. Was visiting the cathedral in Chartres, and suddenly the Chartres Cathedral is amazing. What a beautiful Gothic cathedral. Been there once, and I was blown away. I mean, the organ would have blown you away, but the cathedral is something else. Blue Bell by the Cocteau Twins, love it. Yeah, it's a good record. However, Jeff, you know, if I may interject, I mean, Treasure is, to me, it's like, and then also Heaven or Las Vegas. I mean, yeah, either of these records, brilliant. Especially 50 Feet Clown, amazing. What's the score on that? Tunisia, Belgium, still 2-1. Okay. In a completely different style from the Cocteau Twins. Here is Helden. Helden 4. Also named Agneta Nilsson. There we go. Helden 4. I think that was one of the very first Helden records I ever got. This is an original, I believe, on Urus Disjunctor. This is a killer electronic record from France. You all know Richard Pinas, you know, kind of a wacko, a really interesting character with his degrees in philosophy and his theories and his love for Robert Fripp and Robert White and that kind of sound. It's amazing record and beautiful artwork too. Might be my favorite Helden. Yeah, I would agree with that. Chris, it's a wonderful. I'm going to see Richard Pinas in London next month. Wow, so cool. On that, yeah, awesome. And Jeff, Double Cabbage, yeah, this is good. Electronic Guerilla is great too. Aletheia is fantastic. I mean, they're all great records. I'm continuing my revisiting of Roy Ayers, the great Roy Ayers. And this week, I played Lifeline. What a great record. Again, I mean, I'm saying great about every record that I'm playing, but as I said to you in a previous video, you know, there's no point having all this if you don't enjoy those records. I mean, you don't buy records and put records in your collection and you go, oh, this is a bit shit actually, because there's no point having them, you know. So if I say it sounds great, it's because yeah, I've listened to them and I've kept them for a reason. Yeah, oh, it's a great record. It's a great record, right? This is on Polydor. It's not an original press, but it's like a kind of like an early press-ish. This is from the 70s, maybe late 70s. Roy's playing vibes, electric piano, harp, piano, vibra harp. Lots of vocals, lots of it's funky as fuck. I mean, really, it's great. I can go. And next week, I'll probably have another Roy's album to show you if I'm doing this stream, which I think I will. Running Away, yes, you're right. And Susan Ciani the night before that. Oh, you go. So Andy King, you're going to see Richard Pinas and Susan Ciani. That's a super double bill. Amazing. I'm very envious. Here is a killer Brazilian record. It's not a well-known record. It's kind of a slept under record. And this makes me think of Christoph in Switzerland, this record. Olivia Byington. Well, it's spelled Byington. B-Y-I-G. So is the name written somewhere? Anywhere? Well, Byington, like buying something. But a Brazilian guy told me that it's meant to be Bington. I don't know why. Corra o risco. I don't know, maybe it means running a risk or something. She's beautiful to start with. Look at this woman, she's amazing. And then the record is like top class, MPB, obscure but great. I mean, this is I think this came out in 1978. This is a second press from 79, I think. It was still quite expensive to buy, but I'm really glad I've got it. It's a great MPB record. Super record. Channy in a church in Brooklyn a few weeks ago. Very cool. Nobody's reacting to Olivia Byington. It's a shame. It's a great record. Another great record, unfortunately, which sounds like shit on my system. This is the thing. When you've got a good stereo, you then realize when bad records sound bad. And this is a case in point. What I mean is, when records have been badly pressed and they sound bad or whatever. Now, this is Steve Kuhn, which is a classic kind of funky soul record with vocals by Steve Kuhn. Very funky, jazzy, funky. But this pressing is crap. It's so flat and it's lacking any sort of detail. Amazing record, but sounding really bad. Anyone into Steve Kuhn? No, maybe not. You don't care. Well, I'll talk to myself. What's happening with the game? We've got 40 minutes in. Okay. So yeah, Steve Kuhn and Silver, Time to Go, Heat of the Moment. Great record. Anyway, I'll continue since you're not talking to me. This is a record I showed a few weeks ago and played again. This is Georges-Edouard Noël. I was talking about Marius Cultier before, and this is he's a pianist, jazz pianist from the Caribbean, from Martinique. This is a killer record. And you may know this looking like I'll show you the cover, the actual cover, what it looked like, because this is a reissue. You may know this record looking like this there. The record is called Shadow. You may have seen this. If, say, you're on Instagram or something, you've seen this cover. That's the same record as this. This is the same thing. Exactly. It's a repress. And that copy of the record is like $300. And this one was $30. And I know which one I like best. Anyway, it's a cool record. I just played Steve Kuhn, Raindrops on Muse. Very good. It's a great record. Don't believe I have any Kuhn in the collection. Yeah, there's a great Kuhn on ECM, orange cover. Can't remember the name of it. With Noel on piano or Byron Pope, F Seekers. Okay, cool. Since we're talking about Steve Kuhn and we're talking about Georges-Edouard Noel, you know, in the same kind of, not in the same kind of vein, but, you know, whatever. This is a great record. This is an amazing, amazing fusion record with the great man Zbiggy. Zbiggy played guitar. No, Zbiggy played violin. Zbigniew Seifert, whatever his name is. Polish violinist, extraordinaire, brilliant record from start to finish. An amazing, amazing ride of a record on MPS. There's the label there. There we go. MPS. Beautiful, 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 beautiful record. Amazing. Trance. Yes, well done. Trance is the name of the record. So this is killer. Man of the Light. Score. Still 2-1. Okay. Man of the Light. Great record. Amazing. I don't know if anybody has got this record, but you should. Great jazz fusion record with violin. Don't say to me I don't like violin. That's just nonsense. Man of the Light is indeed wonderful. Like most of Zbiggy. Here is a sort of North African record which came out a couple of years ago. Tammy Crest Chatma. Now, isn't that a beautiful cover to start with, right off the bat? Like, let's look at this. Them eyes. It's like this very famous photo of the girl in Afghanistan. You know, the famous photo with the bright blue eyes. It's a bit like this. If you like bands like Tina Riwen, which, by the way, reminds me, I saw Tina Riwen recently with Sarah, actually, when she was still with us. We went to see Tina Riwen. It was in March, and they were amazing, brilliant band. Such a good band. I mean, one of the best gigs I've ever seen. And we were sitting in the third row, which was brilliant. So if you like Tina Riwen, Tammy Crest, this was not recorded, however, in whatever, Morocco or wherever North Africa is meant to be. I don't know where these guys come from exactly. The info sort of escapes me right this second. It was recorded in Eastern Europe, in Czech Republic and in Slovenia. Interesting, but it's really like yeah, a North African record. A completely different style. Mr. Pharoah Sanders, Live at the East. Great record. On Impulse. And I played this as well. And I really enjoyed it. Much enjoyed. Record. Live at the East. I think I'm led to believe that it's not exactly a live album. It's kind of made to sound like a live album, but it's not really live. I don't know. Maybe I'm confusing my stories, but somebody can back that up. Tyranny are great. Saw them a number of years ago. Mundu Mokhtar, yeah, great, fantastic. Is the game good, Mike? I can't see it. It's just like, yeah, 2-1. Belgium, good side. Once again, I played Krungbin, talked about last week. Con Todo El Mundo. This is really one of my favorite records of this year. Easily. Beautiful. It's airy, it's jazzy, it's funky, it's psychedelic. Beautiful girl too. Good old Krungbin earlier, yes. Krungbin. Yes, top shelf shit. Then last Sunday morning, I had one of my mates come to visit me, and he's into music and everything. So he wanted to hear some records. So we just pulled out some records, and we might have played 1 or 2 tracks of each record. So that's why there's so many of them. But anyway, I just want to share those with you. We played a couple of tracks from this Death album for the whole world to see. Death, a band from, I think they're from Detroit from memory. Yeah, Detroit, that's correct. And they're 3 brothers, and they're like, sorry, I don't intend to be offensive or anything, but they're like a sort of a Black Ramones type of band. Like they sound a bit like Ramones, but you know, like they're obviously African American, and maybe like Bad Brains and the Ramones, but you know, it's obviously I don't. I hope you understand me. There's no offense in there. You know, I love jazz and you know what I'd call great black music. You know, and this is part of great black music. So this is great. We played a couple of tracks, very punky, very upbeat, a bit like the Ramones, as I said. Politicians in My Eyes. Yes, the last track. Cool. See, I have to check the names of the track because sometimes I don't. And Mike, Boston Reggie, a shout out is coming your way in a second. Anyway, we also visited a couple of tracks from this Basement 5 record, 1965, 1980. This is not a best of some sort, it's just the name of their album. Basement 5, a band that was signed on Island Records, and again, these guys are the Black Ramones, and these guys are the Black Public Image Limited, almost, you know. I mean, it's just stupid. Maybe it's kind of stupid just to label bands like this but it's just to give you sort of a sense of what the band sounds like. I mean, you know, not being racist or anything. I'm just, you know, stating that these guys really had a lot of that kind of public image, which in a sense is kind of, you know, like music gone full circle, because Public Image Limited listened to a lot of reggae to make the music. Like the music they made didn't come from nowhere. It came from lots of reggae, and they also probably listened to a lot of krautrock rock and other things. But them listening to reggae and then making the music they made, and then a band like that comes along, that's normal. I mean, that's sort of 3-1. Whoa, 3-1. Missing a great game there for you people. How the 2 LP Death did when they changed the name to Fourth Movement. Cool, yeah. Completely different to Death. All right. Basement 5 was one of the first obscure classics. Yes, and it's well deserved as an obscure classic. So this also is produced by Martin Hannett, who produced Joy Division and all sorts of other bands. And you know, as a segue, we also played this French post-punk LP, Orchestre Rouge, which is also a Martin Hannett production. So this is a great post-punk French record. Orchestre Rouge. They sing in English, actually. Wonderful. This is from maybe 1980, perhaps. So those two records. And I was saying, Mike, that a Sheila is coming your way, but not just yet. Not just give me a second. I'll come. I was going to say, I don't know where I was going. Where's my thread of thinking? So Martin Hannett, blah 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 blah. I was going to say something else to you, but I can't remember it. No, doesn't matter. Okay, Sheila is coming. We played this. My friends, he said, "Oh, play me some post-punk that I've never heard of." I was racking my brain. What does he know? What is? Because he's really into post-punk. I thought, oh yeah, play this Native Tongue record. This is a great record. My oh my, what a superb piece of music. Really fantastic. And Mike knows this record well because it's a record from Boston. Really love this record. Thank you, Mike, again. It's Orchestre Rouge is the name, yes, Mike. As I pointed out, that's the name of the band, and the album is called Yellow Laughter, and the band's called Orchestre Rouge. There you go, the Red Orchestra. Yes, so thank you, Mike. Great record. And then he wanted to hear some other things, like he said, can we put this Codeine album? And I said, yes, all right, let's listen to Codeine. We'll listen to Codeine a bit. Codeine, a slowcore band. Can't remember where they're from exactly, from memory. But this is a great record, The White Birch. If you like really, you know, post-rocky, kind of moody, atmospheric music on acoustic and electric guitar. Wonderful record. And Codeine is kind of like, it's meant to, you know, put you to sleep or make you feel less pain. And so that's right. That's what it sounds like. It's did I ever send you the Native Tongue EP? No, you haven't. Just this one, just the one there. Or maybe you're talking about the VS. Is that what you're talking about? The VS record? Is that the, because you've sent me another one, but I don't think Native Tongue is on there. It's two bands, and I think it's called VS or something. Just think about it. It's got a black and red cover. Anyway, Codeine, beautiful record. Yeah, love that Codeine. Frigid Star. Yeah, Frigid Star is just there somewhere behind me. There it is. Frigid Stars EP. Maybe I should play it too. And then we also played some other bizarre things. We pulled that the Anthology by the Beatles. Oh wow, I've got lots of Beatles records. I don't mind talking about the Beatles. You know, it's funny, the Anthology, those records, especially number 2 and number 3. They were such great records when they came out. Those alternate versions. I think I must have played this like 1 zillion times. You know, I had this on cassette back in the day, and I knew the thing back to front, and I really sort of enjoy these alternate versions sometimes more than the actual version of the songs. And this is all the songs from, mostly songs from the White Album, this Anthology there. There's a great version of Glass Onion, and While My Guitar Gently Weeps on acoustic guitar, and Hey Jude, you know, when he starts with saying From the Heart of the Black Country, when I was a boy. Great. No, not VS. Okay. So great record. And we played a couple of songs, maybe 3 or 4 songs. It's got songs from Abbey Road as well on there. Beautiful. You didn't think I was going to talk about the Beatles. We talked about Pharoah Sanders. We talked about Charlemagne Palestine. We talked about codeine, and we talked about the Beatles. It's just a very strange circle. And now I'm talking to myself. I am talking to myself, people. Anyway, it's 55 minutes. I will give you, I think, 5 more minutes, and we'll be. I think I'll pack this up. An hour is probably enough time, and then people can watch it later again. The Beatles are new to me. Thanks. Oh, Mr. Fat Boy. Hello, 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 hello. I almost called you Mike, Tony. The anthologies are great. They remind me of being 15. Yeah. Well, I wasn't quite 15. I think I was. Geez, you must be older than me. I was probably early 20s when the anthologies came out. My first girlfriend bought them all for me. Yeah. Am I making some of my own music these days? Funny you say this. No. But I was just then, before, I was playing my own music. And I'll tell you what, not because, I'm sort of wanking lyrical about my own stuff, but because I think some people in the VC must have this, the Blood on the 4-track EP, which was my Blood 4-track album, which was the only proper self-released thing that I ever did. But I was playing it because I didn't want to get a copyright strike from YouTube. I think I got some music. I mean, they're not going to give me a copyright strike on my own music. They can get fucked. That's what I'm going to say. What do you think of France's change in the World Cup? France is playing like shit at the moment. Anyway, moving on. This video is titled "Every Night I Tell Myself I Am the Cosmos." I got to it there. So, yeah, killer record, killer album. What to say? It's just, yeah, it's a masterpiece, really. Big Star obviously is superior to this, but this Chris Bell record, just, it's got something. It's one of those great solo records that you must own. It's brilliant. And the first 3 or 4 songs, and also You and Your Sister are brilliant. It's just a great record. And I've got a couple more here. 2 more. Since I was talking about the Beatles, little segue of sorts. This is more like Can than the Beatles, though. you gotta see. I mean, if you don't fly and you think Yoko Ono is, not your thing, think again. This record is it's like a crowd rock record, really. It's just amazing. Yeah, Tugboat. Well, it was just playing a second ago. Amazing record, beautiful record. The first couple of songs, it's just insanely good. Have you heard the Danish band Mew? I know of Mew. Don't think I've heard any of their songs per se. Derek was talking about Mew a lot back in the day, but no, I would say I don't know their songs. I'm not going to lie to you. This is a great record. Anyway, Fly by Yoko Ono, 1971. And the last record I believe I have for you today that I've actually played this week. I've got nothing else, okay? And it's random. Oh, it's 59 minutes. Perfect. I'll leave it now. Is October by YouTube. Yes, when I was 15 years old, I was a big YouTube fan, and I still love their early records. This is the second record, and it's amazing. To me, it's just an amazing record. Perfect. Perfect from start to finish. All the songs are, but it's because they're sort of anchored in my mind, in my head. It's one of these it's more sentimental, value than anything else, if you will. I mean, if you now go and you buy October, if as a grown up, listen to this, you might not feel very impressed by it. But if you invested many, 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 many hours of listening to this, well, yeah, you would understand that it's really a really great record. And that's the thing. Now we've got so many records. Who invests that much time in playing the one record? I mean, I guess with Wildlife, I have. I've played that again and again. But it's not always that you can find the time to play all these records like lots and lots of times. Underrated album. Saw them on that tour in 1981. Wow. So cool. So cool. Amazing. Ornette Coleman play on her first album. Yeah, on Yoko's first album. Yeah. Hello, Sublimedia. You've just missed our stream here. But shout out to you, my friend, my Swedish friend. And your team is playing later today against Germany. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, I've done 1 hour. I said I would go for 1 hour. I think it's sufficient. And I've showed you a ton of records, really. El Cadell, hello, big start. Yes. Thank you, Larry. And I'll try to... I will try to be here next Saturday if you will have me. Although, no, that's fine. Next Saturday should be fine because it's right before the France game, the next France game. In Australia, Australia and France. I'm supporting 2 teams, and they're in the same group. Shit, couldn't they be in different groups? Anyway, thank you for being here with me. I hope the selection of records hasn't bamboozled you too much. Please feel free to leave me some comments on the video if you want underneath. I will read them. Try to change the schedule if you can. Well, when would that be? The problem is the only time I could really do it's on Saturday night. I mean, I could do Saturday afternoon, but then people in America that are watching me right now would be in bed. They'd be sleeping, really. And people in Europe, it's a bit better for you. So that's why I'm doing it. The reason I'm doing it at 10 o'clock is because it kind of, European time is probably about 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. American time is about 6, 7 in the morning, and it's 10 o'clock at night. That's why I really can't do it any other time. It's difficult for me. Drop me a line when you record. Oh, yes, I will. Thank you, buddy. On these wise words, love you, people. Keep spinning those records and enjoying them and being blown away by cool shit. That's what you need to do. Life is worth living because we're exposed to a great deal of beauty. That's what makes life worth living. Beauty, love, art, music. Not Donald Trump.